Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of I Trek. Hey, what is going on, man? I feel like every other week we're discovering a new species, man. Is that a sign of the times or what? Either way, we'll take a look at that along with a lot of other interesting and creepy clips. The end of the week is coming, but that definitely isn't stopping the conspiracies. But before we take a look at any of that, do me the biggest favor and hit that hype button for me, hit that like button, and subscribe if you're not already a part of the iTrack fam, man. And let's just get straight into it.
सा मछली है लेकिन मर चुका है भाई। जिंदा होता तो और मजा आता था। ये देख और भी अटका।
Now, I have never seen a crab or a fish that looks like that. Looks like some kind of hybrid. It might be delicious. Now, if you've seen it and you know what it is, type it and let me know.
There's a World Cup conspiracy that is currently going viral right now about the Ghana witch doctor that is allegedly cursing teams and players like Harry Kane, and everyone thought it was a joke until it wasn't. And please watch the whole video before you comment. So how did this all start? So Ghana game 1 plays Panama. Ghana is obviously underdogs, and they were tied until they showed this on live TV. Then Ghana scores 1-0 and they pull off an impressive win, but it wasn't really anything crazy, right? Ghana's next opponent is England, and this is when the witch doctor comes in. He says, "I am working on Harry Kane. I have shown what I am capable of before, so I know what work I must do to stop him. I'm not wishing him serious injury. It will just be enough to stop him against my country. I will do my work so that it can help Ghana." You have to realize that England is very good. They're supposed to destroy this team, and Harry Kane is one of the best players in the world. So not only did the game with Ghana and England end 0-0, Harry Kane, who was allegedly cursed, missed a wide open goal at the end of the game, and look at this reaction. He couldn't even believe it himself. The internet obviously goes crazy after this game because it was just an insanely improbable outcome, and the fact that Harry Kane just airmailed a wide open goal is just wild. And then the witch, after the game, he says Harry Kane has now been released from the curse. He can score again, and then he shows the whole ritual, which was kind of weird. But just a disclaimer, I don't actually believe that this is real, but a lot of people do. I think that the blood of Jesus protects us from all of that BS, but it's still a really interesting story.
Okay, if you think CERN is crazy, check this out. So you're gonna see this arc in a second. There it is. Okay, they're injecting DNA into artificial life forms and distilling it in order to set up silicone-based bodies for the transfer of consciousness. I don't know how else to put it.
What you just saw is the main debating chamber of the UK Parliament. The person in the black robe who sits in front and maintains order is called the Speaker of the House of Commons. He speaks to the MPs and all the politics in the room and orders them. And you just saw him do a Masonic handshake. Now, what I'm about to show you does not come from me. It comes from the Satanic Bible of Anton LaVey. Let's see what he has to say about Freemasonry. Masonic orders have contained the most influential men in many governments, and virtually every occult order has many Masonic roots. And that is on page 78. The handshake you saw is the apprentice to the fellowcraft handshake that you saw, proving that Freemasonry has infiltrated government and UK politics.
Do you guys remember taking 2 soup cans and a string and making a telephone with your friend? I've made the same kind of thing with solo cups, some metal foil, and a speaker cone spring. But when I put this thing up against my beehive, have y'all ever heard of anything like this before?
The shit.
What do you want to know?
When I came to your album release party, you played a documentary there
It was about 7 hours long. It was about Antarctica, and I love documentaries about Antarctica. There's so much crazy stuff that happened.
I found the ice wall. I found so many entrances to alien bases. I found the exact entry point to Agartha, the Hollow Earth. If you watch the documentary, which I know you won't.
What if it was available? I don't even know if we should talk about it here. It's like the audience doesn't even get to see it till when.
When does this drop?
This will probably be out Thursday.
Yeah, it won't be out yet, but it's coming, and it's something I worked on for 2 years, so it's a big deal.
You recorded it while you were in Antarctica?
For the first year, was in Antarctica. I kind of went stir crazy, kind of lost my mind. My parents came, they got me to leave.
Antarctica.
You went. How long were you
Twice. About to go back for my third time.
Whoa.
You go there for about 10 days.
What are you doing up there, dude? Or
research.
There? You were doing research.
Research. I played some concerts on the tour boats.
Got you.
I think you always got like conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I found some of the shit, bro. I think I found, so for one, I think I found the wall that surrounds the Earth. Basically, I'm not a flat earther, but I think I might be kind of after seeing this wall, bro.
You really seen the shit?
I seen the shit, bro. I filmed a documentary. I got footage. I think I found an actual entranceway to an alien base that goes into the Hollow Earth, bro. Agartha. I'm pretty sure I found this shit. I have a documentary I filmed in Antarctica. So I climbed the wall. I climbed the fucking wall, bro. I have footage of me climbing this fucking wall.
God damn, man.
So, it will come out later.
Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Just like most of you, I didn't know much about him. But the more I do find out, the more I realize why he might have been unalive. Because the majority of the time, people that go searching for this kind of information, good things don't generally happen to them over time.
Se ha bugueado la Matrix. ¿Qué coño?
¿Qué marcha el coño?
Estoy rayado.
¿Qué estás flotando? No me lo puedo creer.
¿Qué estás flotando? Un pedazo de guille de paja. ¿Qué coño es eso? Joder, hermano.
Que no hay nada arriba.
No hay ni cable, no se le ven.
All right, so check this out. I think they look like flames, right? You see that? But they're not leaves burning. Look, see, they're just flying around in the middle of the air, so to speak. You see that? It was like two interdimensional fire beings or entities or whatever you want to go. You see that? Look at that. Look, flying around the tree. What's up, Brazil? This takes place in Brazil. Yo, y'all got some more of those interdimensional fire entities going on. What do y'all feel about this one?
They can be quite hard to get out.
A stunning new report reveals a downed American fighter pilot may have seen something over Iran that looked more like science fiction than modern warfare. According to a CNN report, the U.S. pilot rescued after being shot down over Iran in April repeatedly described a chilling sight. Dozens of drones moving together in a coordinated formation, something called a jellyfish formation, drifting through the sky, similar to what you see in this UFO video from 2017. The downing of the F-15 fighter jet marked the first time U.S. aircraft has been shot down over Iran during the conflict. First time a U.S. aircraft has been shot down in a very long time.
So there's this video floating around about this new Mandela effect and everybody's tripping out. I personally remember it being a candy bar, a chocolate bar for the original Willy Wonka movie. And this clip that I'm going to show you, he's not holding a chocolate bar. He's holding some type of chocolate moon pie. Check out the video, let me know what you think, and TikTok this for intent purposes only.
Where the fuck is the Wonka ball? What is he? What? What the fuck? No!
It definitely was not a moon pie. I 100%, 1000% remember a chocolate bar with the golden ticket. Now, unless there's a part of the movie that I just don't remember with him with the moon pie, which I don't think that there is, something's up with that. Tap in and let me know. Do you remember a moon pie or do you remember a candy bar with the golden ticket?
Something is definitely going on as massive earthquakes have hit multiple different areas all at once, all almost around the same time. As one of these earthquakes in Venezuela that hit was a whopping 7.5 and the other was a 7.1. And again, keep in mind, this was all around the same time when these earthquakes hit, because one even hit in California and it was a 5.6, and another one hit in Japan. And you see this hotel right here, it is completely gone. And you can just see the aftermath. You can see the damage right here for yourselves. And again, prayers go out to everybody affected by this. And again, it's just some wild times that we are living in. And after seeing that total destruction, I am once again reminded of the opening ceremony for Team USA, the World Cup 2026, where it showcased this right here, where it looks like buildings collapsing. I don't know. You tell me what is going on here. It's probably unrelated. All of this is probably just a coincidence, right? But again, prayers go out to everybody affected by this. This is truly heartbreaking.
If you haven't seen this already, go follow this guy and check out all his videos. This is wild. He hikes for like 21 days into the Grand Canyon. Literally hidden cities as far as the eye can see and all this other crazy stuff. Check it out.
This is truly some of the most mysterious paintings I have ever seen. I would love for you guys to comment what the first thing comes to your mind. Look at these big long shafts, and at the end they have...
I am a time traveler who works for the government, and as outrageous and ridiculous as that sounds, it's the truth, and I'm here to share it with you. These are some images of actual portals that we use. This is an example of a portal created. These are old portals from history as we've discovered them all across the planet. Once we discovered them across the planet and learned how they worked, we were able to reconstruct them. And that's why we can create them on our own, or we can construct them for ongoing use. What's really interesting is that some of these are public artworks that are in plain sight, like lots of things that the shady government does. It's put in plain sight and you literally overlook it because you can't imagine something has such not nefarious use, but such a exotic, esoteric use as being part of time travel. Through these portals, essentially what happens is a time traveler walks through, obviously, just like in Stargate, okay, things like that. And yet, like, I'll give you an example of one of the last ones that I did in terms of my interventional time travel is I will walk through, see, and then what happens is we get a plasma kind of discharge, which actually propels us to the time source we're going to. But in the last one I went back to basically, you know, the Revolutionary War time, 1776-ish. And I went in as a British soldier, essentially, as a spy, and gave Cornwallis, the general from Britain, I gave him bad information around Christmas time when it looks like we were going to lose the war. And I gave him information that basically changed his strategy and allowed Washington to win at Trenton and to start to turn the war around. So that's the kind of things we do. We come in and we will make a small alteration to history, and that creates a butterfly effect of huge implications, of huge a huge of consequences, because it literally just keeps going down the line like a game of telephone, the effects of that lie or that deception. And that's why it's the ultimate tool.
What in the Mandela effect is this? Where's the writing on the collar that says mom? It used to say mom as a subliminal message. Where you at, Wendy?
That's what the Egyptians figured out. And what does that mean? It means the thing that puts you at the top is attention. Pay attention. Keep your eyes open. It's not the same as thinking. It's not the same thing. It's like watching. And the thing about human beings is we can see. We can see better than any other creature except birds of prey. And so our capacity to see is in fact what we use in the world. Our brains are actually organized around vision, unlike most animals. Their brains are organized around smell, not us. We can see. We stand upright so we can see a long distance. And in our ability to see is what saves us and what saves our communities. And that's what these stories are trying to portray.
Four major earthquakes hit Venezuela, Japan, and California all in the same day. In Venezuela, at 5 p.m., you had a 7.5 magnitude earthquake. And then right after that, at 6 p.m., you had a 7.2 magnitude earthquake. And that was from the aftershock. And then we go to Japan, 6:30 p.m., 6.9 magnitude earthquake. And let's not forget California. That happened at 11:10 a.m. It was the smallest one, but they're saying it was a lot of damage. 5.6 magnitude earthquake. And you have to remember that all of this happened in less than 24 hours. Mother Nature must not be happy. You had thousands of people lose power in California. Mind you, this is the largest earthquake in that region since 1940. You got buildings falling. You got people losing their lives. They're saying that in Venezuela, the death rate could be anywhere from 10 to 100,000. You heard what I just said? They said 100,000 people could have lost their life in those earthquakes in Venezuela. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Listen, this is scary, man, and this happened in 3 different places. Earthquakes this large. You tell me nothing wrong with that. I'm out.
There's this show called The OA that came out on Netflix, and a lot of people believe that it was canceled after only 2 seasons because it was showing a little bit too much of what happens behind the scenes. For example, in this scene, you can see a couple of students and a teacher performing a dance ritual because they believed they were dancing in a sacred geometrical way that would open up a portal to a different dimension. Many people believe that they've connected some dots, saying that these dances remind them of CERN's dances during their opening ceremonies when they're restarting their Hadron Collider. For those of you who may not know, anytime CERN starts up its Large Hadron Collider, they first have an opening ceremony where people dress up as animals or creatures and then dance in unison in front of strange images on a projector. And interestingly, similar to the show where they were dancing to open up portals, people have theorized for quite a while that CERN was secretly using their particle collider to open up portals to a different dimension. Now obviously that's just a theory and there's no proof behind that, but leave a like, let me know what you think about all this in the comments.
And in today's episode of Robots Take Over the World, robots are now doing Kung Fu, because apparently backflips weren't enough. This is the Unitree G1, and before anyone says, yeah, but it's just a scripted routine, watch the balance, watch the footwork, and watch how smoothly it recovers after every movement. A human learns this stuff over years of practice, but this robot is doing it constantly, calculating momentum, body position, and balance in real time. See, the real goal here is teaching the machines how to move naturally through messy, unpredictable environments such as factories, hospitals, warehouses, and even homes. So the important thing here is not that the robot learned Kung Fu, it's that robots are getting surprisingly good at moving like humans.
How do you even compete with something like that? I mean, you would have to get a Neuralink in order to download that kind of information to learn Kung Fu or whatever else there is that you would need to learn to compete against something like that. Because he looked ready. That robot definitely looked ready.
Bill Gates said he didn't witness any crimes happen on Epstein Island, but he may have been in the room when they happened. That is how dumb they think you are.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the Tibetan library found hidden behind a wall in a monastery. It contains 84,000 scrolls which are said to record 10,000 years of human history. It was discovered in 2003 and apparently only 5% of them have been translated. Why should we trust our tiny history books when there is libraries like this and the one hidden from the public in the Vatican containing 50 miles of scrolls? I guarantee the stories in these scrolls and the scrolls in the Vatican vaults don't match the narrative we've been given. Even if you read the scriptures removed from the Bible like the Book of Enoch and the Gospel of Thomas, they open your eyes to more than the Bible does, and that's why they were removed. You gotta ask yourself, do you really trust the multiple authors, editors, and translators who created the book you read from? Do you even know who they were? Why they were instructed to write it, and who by? Two of the most powerful pieces used to enslave the masses are the Vatican and the Crown of England. Both were involved in the creation of the KJV. King James wrote the Book of Demonology before he had his own Bible knocked up by Sir Francis Bacon and the Jesuit order. Francis Bacon literally helped create the English language and was said to be one of many occultists behind the character Shakespeare. It's also speculated that he was the father of Freemasonry. You really have to start questioning the origins and etymology of everything you've been taught. Only then will you start seeing the bigger picture.
These images were recorded in Arizona a while ago. We can clearly see a being in the caves with the head shining. Some people think they are aliens, some people think they are guardians of the underworld. These images just came forward. They were recorded in Chile, the mountains there, and we find a very similar being with a head that's lighting up. It was recorded from far, far away, so it's very blurry. So are they really guardians of the underworld, aliens?
I think we are going to be shocked to see how many species of aliens actually are living among us currently.
For centuries, the history we've been taught has been a carefully constructed lie. Textbooks speak of primitive societies slowly climbing toward progress. But scattered across the world, the stones themselves tell a different story. A story of a lost civilization of unimaginable technological mastery. A civilization where sound itself was a tool of creation, and where giants walked among men. Because they were brought into being to serve that vision. Look at the old maps from the 16th to 18th centuries, vast territories of mystery and power. What if those maps were hiding the remnants of an empire whose people had conquered not just the physical world, but the very forces of life and matter? These were humans so advanced, they could manipulate genetics and resonance itself. They engineered colossal helpers, giants.
I just showed you that image. So one of the first images was the Terminator movie. Check this video out.
China unveiled its latest full-size humanoid robot, the T-800. Yes, indeed, that is the same model number of the Terminator.
Do you know that China's actual network is actually called Skynet? Did you know that?
What?
Yep. Look at that, bro. China named their overarching program Skynet.
Here's the AI summary. We'll use the demons to ask about it. In China, Skynet primarily refers to the world's largest AI-powered mass surveillance network. State media claims network can scan the entire Chinese population in under a second with high accuracy, though it has drawn widespread international concern regarding privacy and civil liberties.
Try to get
What
you
the
to...
heck, bro? So they've got Skynet and they're building T-800s. So if you guys have watched the Terminator series, so in the original Terminator movie, Arnold is the T-800.
I'll be back.
Why of all names would you name it the T-800?
Bro, maybe China's not watching the Terminator, or maybe, and it's prophetic. That's my guess. Maybe the people watching the movies were like,
I'm pretty sure they're
visions.
aware of the Terminator movies.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. Why
I
would
don't
they do that?
understand how more people don't make the link between Skynet and Starlink. Like
Skynet, Starlink.
Net
Oh, yeah.
Link. Like Starlink. Like to me, Starlink
right.
is literally Skynet
Yeah, you're
under
right.
a different name.
You're right. It's close. But China has one that's actually called Skynet, and they have two now.
Yeah, that's not diabolical at all.
So that's worse in my mind. Where are they building the Matrix? Is the Matrix being built in Geneva, Switzerland at CERN?
An alarming new warning from U.S. and partner intelligence agencies saying AI cyber attacks could overwhelm defenses in just months. The Five Eyes group is urging businesses and governments to prepare. The Trump administration is calling on AI company Anthropic to prevent foreign nationals from using its tech. Several AI executives, including the CEO of Anthropic, have also expressed concerns about the technology.
An orangutan hired a hitman to get revenge on her childhood bully and actually paid him. Researchers had been studying a group of wild orangutans in Indonesia for 13 years as a highly coordinated hit squad with Echo attacking as Condor blocked escape routes. And when the attack was over, Condor and Echo were seen mating, which researchers believe was his payment.
But they're also singing like twisted Christmas carols or songs that people liked in life, like their favorite song. And they were singing like Jingle Bells. Yeah. They'll be singing songs like that, torturing people, and the way they talk is like it rhymes somehow. They rhyme all of their words, and
Sounds like
it's almost like they sing their words, and it feels like they're all around you, like when they're talking, and it overwhelms your senses. And they'll be singing things that you know. It's like they're rapping, but they're not rapping, but they sound like some of these street rappers, like the ones that say they blacked out and then they started saying things that are super demonic and they don't remember what they said or whatever. They sound like that. Like, what I can describe it like is like, there's a song by the Bloodhound Gang from back in the 90s or whatever, and they talk vulgar. They're disgusting, coarse, vulgar. They cuss more than a person from New York, and that's saying a lot. No offense to you people from New York, but I'm from New York, and I get it. I've never met anyone that cusses more than a New Yorker until I was in hell. And it'll be like, they'll be talking, their voice is echoing, kind of like when you find a ray gun in whatever that game is, and it makes this sound. My friend Levi told me about this, or showed me it recently, and I was like, that's it. That's very similar. It's not exact, but it's very similar. And they'll be like, sweat, baby, sex is Texas, track me. And you do the kind of things that only Prince would sing about. So put your hands down my pants, and I bet you'll feel nuts. Stuff like that. Or if I capsize in the price high tide, give me 5, you sunk my battleship. Please turn me on, I'm Mr. Coffee with the automatic drip. They say worse, more vulgar things like that. Made me feel disgusting to say that. That had to come from a demon. And that's how they talk, though. And they'll use songs like that to torment people.
Okay, so I don't usually believe in conspiracy theories, but y'all gotta tell me, this is crazy. All these people had on a specific color blue at the gym today. On TV, it was everywhere. Like, come on now. And I was literally supposed to wear that same color and then end up changing my mind last minute. But come on now. Even the machine, my water bottle, a cart.
Mike Batista here. The footage you're about to watch contains documented evidence of an interdimensional being suspended within a plasma-type orb. This footage was captured by the Psionic Asset team while conducting a field operation in a remote location of Florida. Billy Kryzak will be doing a full analysis on this video and more details to follow.
Apparently I've jumped timelines because Lavender in my OG timeline, Lavender now. And Crayola would agree. Like, what?
Now, she might have been reaching just a bit because I've seen lavender in a few different shades, so I'm not too much convinced about that one.
This proof we live in a simulation. Why would these microscopic creatures look so ridiculous? They look like science fiction. They're totally real. It's like the jokes on us humans. What explains these ridiculous beings? Is it nature and evolution? God has a sense of humor? Or is it a glitch in the Matrix?
It's been over a week since the tragic death of Oliver Tree, so here's everything we know so far. On June 14th, the 32-year-old singer was killed when 2 helicopters collided over Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, killing all 6 people on board. One of the helicopters crashed into a car dealership and burst into flames, setting multiple vehicles on fire. One of the most disturbing details came from a witness who said he saw a passenger jump from one of the helicopters after the collision, but before it struck the ground. Authorities never confirmed who that person was, but if the account is accurate, it means at least one victim may have been aware of what was happening in the final moments before the crash. The accident was reportedly so severe that Oliver Tree was left unrecognizable, with authorities forced to rely on dental records because of the condition of his remains after the fire. Among the other victims were Argentine YouTuber Gaspy, music producer Lucas Froda, director Lucas Vignali, and both pilots. In a chilling twist, another producer who was reportedly supposed to be on the flight backed out last minute because he was afraid of flying. More than a week later, investigators still haven't determined exactly what caused the collision. Authorities are reviewing flight records, radio communications, radar data, and the movement of both helicopters in the moments before impact. While some reports have suggested possible human error, investigators have not released an official cause and have warned that the investigation could take years to complete. This uncertainty has fueled widespread speculation about what actually happened. In a recent interview, the father of Argentine YouTuber Gaspy, one of the victims alongside Oliver Tree, said he personally believes the crash was an attack rather than an accident. He didn't provide evidence for this claim, and authorities have not indicated foul play was involved. However, the comments have resonated with many people online, where theories continue to circulate that there may have been something more going on than a simple aviation accident. For now, investigators have not found evidence supporting these claims, but until an official cause is released, the questions surrounding the crash are likely to continue. Since the crash, Oliver's remains have been returned to California, and his family has begun carrying out one of his final wishes. Rather than leaving his wealth to relatives, he wanted to use it to support artists through a foundation called Dr. Oliver Tree's extremely epic grant for baby geniuses, which is now being created in his honor.
So many Europeans have been visiting America and are absolutely falling in love with the food here. TSA has been forced to put out a statement warning foreigners about smuggling food back into their home country. Specifically, they're doing it with ranch because I guess that doesn't really exist over there. So Europeans are literally buying it in bulk and stuffing it in their suitcases, which is completely against TSA guidelines. So their Twitter account literally posted this saying, "Please stop bringing ranch to the airport." But someone should probably tell these visitors about the ranch packets because technically they could fill up a whole suitcase with this stuff, and it technically does not violate any rules because it's not liquid.
What do you think you'll take away from your visit here in the United States, back to Germany?
Ranch. I love ranch. I tasted here and it's delicious. And I take 2 bottles with home, with you.
Now, the food in America is delicious, but there's a whole lot of pharmaceutical and scientific reason behind it.
You don't think Earth is flat? I fly a lot. One time I took a 25-hour flight, and the plane never did this.
Slowly?
If you're on the map, if US is here and another country is there, when I was going to that country, the plane never did that. That's all I said.
This is your reminder that this actress from Hocus Pocus is also this actress from King of the Hill.
Text show up backwards in a mirror. Like my shirt, for example, says NASA, but in the mirror, it kind of looks like it says A2A. You might think that's just a property of mirrors. They flip things from left to right, but that's not true. Take, for example, this object, an arrow clearly facing from left to right, but it's also facing left to right in the mirror. I mean, no matter how I orient this object, it's gonna have the exact same direction in the real world as it does in the mirror world.
Yes.
So if mirrors don't flip objects, why does text show up as flipped? Well, there's actually an explanation for this. Let me demonstrate. If I take this book, clearly the title is forwards, but in the mirror, it's backwards. Contrast that with the text I've written on this transparent Ziploc bag.
I haven't learned anything yet.
Forward text in the real world, but also forward text in the mirror.
Okay.
Well, that's because I did something different with the bag than with the book. With the book, you can clearly already see the cover of the book, but in order to see it in the mirror, I have to flip it, because right now you're looking at the backside. To see the cover, I physically flip the book and thus flip the text. Compare that with the Ziploc bag.
So this
Here,
is just
you don't
common
have to flip
sense.
anything because the bag is transparent.
Yeah,
And so
this
if
one
it's
I'm
forward,
fine with.
it's also forward.
What if I told you that they've been lying to you about creativity?
You ask any artist, the music is a success upon creation. When you give it to somebody like a Rolling Stone or a Vibe and they start critiquing it, then your perception changes. But that's looking through somebody else's eyes. So again, we gauge success based upon what we feel in our hearts. We've shut our minds off now. Minds should be used for what they were made for, filing cabinets. We think with our hearts.
I'm not saying feedback is bad. Feedback is very useful. But somewhere along the way, we started trusting other people's opinions more than our own when it comes to our creativity. The mind is really great at organizing information and solving problems, but creativity comes from something deeper. If what you created feels honest and meaningful, don't let somebody else's perspective convince you otherwise. Creativity dies when expression becomes approval-seeking.
Outside of the IRS's headquarters in Carlton, Maryland is something seated very strategic and very intentional. Here outside the IRS headquarters, you can see the pillars of Boaz with a hand placed on each pillar, and also the Eye of Providence or the pyramid. Now we see Masonic symbolism everywhere, but I think it's even more alarming that they're in front of the IRS's building, considering they control most of our money. Both of these pillars are made from the finest of marble. They also have 13 stripes up and down each pillar, black and white representing duality or the union of opposites. Of course, we see the checkerboard theme in all of the Masonic lodges, all of the checkerboard floors. There's also a similar monument found in Israel. This is also featuring the pillars of Boaz and the pyramid. If you look at these hands, one hand is pointed upward with the other fingers closed. The other hand has all of the fingers opened, and it is pointing upward as well. I've seen a couple theories on what this means, but we know that these represent the polar opposites. Some say that the pointing hand is the representation of the union with a god. Here's a picture of the Greek god Hermes pointing towards the heavens. Many say this is taken after him. Some say the other hand, featuring all the fingers open, represents the halting of the communion of God, or maybe a relationship with the carnal rather than the spiritual. Numerology and gematria are very common parts of Freemasonry. You can decipher many hidden messages through numbers and letters. So sometimes the Eye of Providence is featured with 13 bricks, and obviously these bricks represents the steps to the Great Architect or Enlightenment. So the 13 steps or the 13 stripes could represent the journey that the Masons take. The 13th letter of the alphabet is M. If you look at the Freemason apron, you can see the M. This envelope, it looks like an M. If you look at ancient Egyptian Kemetic hieroglyphics, the letter M is associated with the owl. Now, I've made a video in the past regarding the Bohemian Grove and that giant owl that they have named Malak But there you can see that they're obsessed with their owls. If you look at their Masonic lodges, at the corners of these buildings, they'll have little owl statues, a type of protection. When owls fly, they fly silently. They're also nocturnal, so they can see in the dark. They're exceptional hunters, and they're known for strategic warfare. That kind of ties in Minerva. Now you also have this pyramid here with the white capstone representing the Enlightenment from the Great Architect. But on this pyramid it says, "We the People." If you look at this pyramid where "We the People" is written, it's written in the dark part of the pyramid. It is not written on the enlightened or the illuminated part. It's because ultimately we the people are the ones that sit in darkness. These are the people who are not illuminated. These are the people who are not elite and part of this secret society.
Walking along the Mississippi River, and I've found a very strange creature I need identified. What is that thing? It looks like a squid or an octopus of some kind.
Recently, a video has been going viral online that shows something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Dead people and even deceased pets recreated inside portable holographic devices, interacting as if they were still alive. In China, this is becoming a reality through AI death bots, which use advanced technology to recreate deceased loved ones as interactive digital clones, from holograms to fully immersive VR avatars, allowing people to converse with them again. This growing demand has fueled a booming industry reported to be worth over $6 billion and expanding rapidly. Although some view the idea as unsettling or even dystopian, others see it as a powerful, deeply personal way to cope with grief.
Now, let me just tell you straight out, the best way to deal with grief is just accept. And it doesn't even matter the situation, All situations need acceptance in order to move on. Keeping a picture of your deceased loved one, that might cause more anguish and mental issues, if you ask me, but definitely tap in and let me know what you think.
The Niagara Papers said
the extinct giants buried in the burial mounds across the Americas. 2015, me and my homies was looking for places to go. That's gonna pick up on the camera. 2015, me and my homies is in Winnemucca, Nevada, looking for places to grow. In Winnemucca, you go to their museum, they had giant bones in there from the burial mounds. They had it in there. Smithsonian comes, sees everything. Now it's not there. Why is that? If you want to keep a people with amnesia in the dark, you don't let them know their history. You got a point. Oh no.
These are others' words about you. Loner, selfish, single-minded, arrogant, aloof, relentless, obsessed, ruthless. Why are you laughing?
Because they're all true.
They are all.
Of course.
Case in point, Kobe Bryant absolutely accepted who he was. So people's opinions about him didn't even matter, not even a little bit.
During a hunting trip deep in the forest, a man suddenly stopped in his tracks after noticing movement between the trees. Something tall stepped into view. It was a dark humanoid figure walking upright on two legs. But what immediately stood out were the long horns rising from its head. Its arms swung slowly, and its hands looked strangely human.
Don't look up here. Please don't look up here.
Instinct kicked in, and the hunter quickly slipped behind a tree, staying completely still. The creature kept moving through the woods, then briefly turned its head in his direction, as if sensing something nearby. He didn't dare move. After a few tense seconds, the figure continued deeper into the forest and disappeared.
No te lo vas a creer.
¿Lo ves? Parece una máscara. ¿Te está viendo?
¿Qué crees que pasó? No te lo vas a creer.
¿Lo ves? Parece una máscara. ¿Te está viendo?
¿Qué crees que pasó?
Who's there?
This man began to pray as something terrifying happened in this abandoned building. Bismillah. Bismillah. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا 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 إله إلا الله. What's creepy is that the toy head seems to be raising itself, or as if someone else is raising it. Whatever it may be, it is still very unsettling and disturbing. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Have you ever experienced deja vu? You know, you're somewhere brand new, never been there before, you're sure of it. And then out of nowhere, your brain goes, I've been here before. I've been in this moment before. And then suddenly it's gone. It's all back to being brand new. That's deja vu. This is how it works. Most people assume this means you've experienced this before, whether it be in a dream, a past life, or some kind of memory. But scientists actually think it's a timing issue. So like when you have a normal moment, your brain is quietly filing that into your memory stores. So your brain's doing two things. It's experiencing something and then it's filing it away just a moment later. Deja vu is where that mechanism somehow gets flipped. The filing part fires a second early. So the moment is getting stamped as a memory, even though you've never experienced it before. And it actually spikes if you're tired, stressed, overstimulated. Basically, whenever your brain's timing is sloppy. And it's more common the younger you are, because as you get older, you experience it less.
Steven Spielberg's latest film is not what you think. While Disclosure Day seems like another UFO movie, it is actually secretly about the Church of Scientology. Spielberg hasn't mentioned this, but the parallels are impossible to ignore. Both deal with aliens, religion, and ascending to a higher level of consciousness. Let's take a deeper look at Disclosure Day to uncover what Spielberg is really telling us. By the end of this video, you will see exactly why this film is just Scientology repackaged. In Disclosure Day, a secret government corporation named Vortex is hiding aliens to steal their technology. After a cybersecurity expert and a meteorologist are visited by these beings, they discover the aliens aren't there to harm them, but to help them. The two join forces to expose the truth about Vortex and reveal the existence of aliens. Now you may be thinking, how in the world is this about the Church of Scientology? At first glance, it seems like just another UFO movie that we have seen millions of times. But when you actually pull back the layers of this movie, how they present the alien encounters, and how they help humanity ascend, you start to see Scientology's influence all over this movie. The movie instantly shows you this with how they choose to depict the encounters with aliens. The way they frame these visitations is not like what is seen in most other movies. They aren't trying to abduct people for experiments. They're trying to wake them up to help them transcend. It all starts when out of nowhere, a meteorologist named Margaret is visited by a bird. This wasn't just a regular bird, it was an alien sent to wake her up. Throughout the movie, these beings always appear as different animals. They choose to come in this form to seem non-threatening to humans. When Margaret sees the bird, it immediately activates psychic abilities she didn't remember having. The reason this happened is because when she was a child, she was abducted by these beings and was taught how to unlock this ability. This part comes directly from the concept of Scientology called reaching the state of clear. Scientology is way too complicated to break down, but pretty much, they think people are some sort of mixture between cosmic aliens and ancient gods they call Thethans. They believe that over billions of years, these beings became trapped in bodies and lost their superhuman abilities due to trauma, memory loss, and other reasons. The whole point of becoming a Scientologist is to use a special technique called auditing to unlock those suppressed memories in order to activate your godlike power. This is what they call OT, or operating Thethan, and it is exactly what is shown in this scene with Margaret. When Margaret sees the bird, it triggers suppressed memories and unlocks her supernatural abilities. She instantly discovers she can speak multiple languages, including a language that only the aliens can speak. She also develops the power of psychic empathy, which allows her to communicate with people emotionally. In this scene, the bird helped Margaret achieve OT. It acted as the auditing technique that helped her remember what she really was, which allowed her to unlock her superhuman abilities.
Are aliens real?
It's interesting. The answer is I don't know. It is something that I have sworn to myself. I'm now a year and a half into this job, that I would go through all of the highly classified information about everything that we know about UFOs. I just haven't done it yet. It's like one of these crazy things where you get to the job and the day-to-day just takes over. So I haven't done that yet. But I mean, look, I believe in things, and I think that they're true, and I think that they're rational, but I recognize that there may be even crazier than the idea that there are extraterrestrials. Like, I believe that a Jewish man about 2,000 years ago was the only begotten Son of God, was literally crucified and then rose from the 3 days later. Like, I recognize that sounds a little out there, but I think that it's true. And I 100% believe that people have mystical experiences. I'm a believer in mystical experiences. I don't think they happen that often, but I think that people have experiences that are impossible to explain if you have a purely narrow, hyper-rational view of the world. In other words, I think the hyper-rational view of the world is actually not totally accurate. There's some weird shit out there.
So you think aliens could be real?
I do.
Boy, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books, man. Hey, I do appreciate you for always stopping by and watching one with me. If you haven't already, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me, hit that hype button, and subscribe if you're not already a part of the iTrack fam, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.